So every judge in Kentucky makes six-figured salaries. They're making 110,000 up to $140,000 every judge. Okay, and then they have judicial immunity, right? So they're allowed to do as they please. Just heard about the case where the dude, the judge, is sitting there, judging a case between a woman and her husband, and he's fucking her in the back, and he can't get in trouble for it because of judicial immunity. Nah, everybody's the rule of law says that everybody's underneath the law, and if you can't get kicked out for something like that, then I don't know what you could get kicked out for. There's a couple pieces of information here. The richest person in Kentucky was this man, B. Wayne Hughes. Richest man in Kentucky, and he's a billionaire, and he's shy about being a fucking absolute filthy fucking wealthy fucking piece of shit. He made his money off of public storage. Now I was with American Self Storage, so I understand how the storage business works. He's focused mostly on what, the homeless and people who basically lose their stuff, they lose their house, so they got to put their stuff, in storage. So these are people that's losing their houses, losing their apartments, and then it's people that are homeless that don't have any place to go. So they, just maybe one day they'll get a place and then they'll bring the storage back out. Unfortunately, most of the time that people do that, you get them in there with $1, right? Just $1 to move in, and then charge them $30 a month. But then once they get in, then you can you lock their lock up as soon as they're just 1 second late. So if there's they're supposed to pay on the first, but they paid on the second, no, lock it away, right? Start putting fees, start accruing those fees just like the banks do until they eventually the shit gets sold in an auction. So you put all your stuff in there, and then as soon as you miss one payment, right, and $30 a month, I don't know, times 5 years, that's a pretty penny, right? In fact, most people were spending more money for the things that was inside than what they were actually worth. And whenever they would actually sell their stuff, I was the manager on site, so I would actually make sure that people could get, their photos and papers and small belongings, here and there, because nobody's going to, no auction person is going to buy that stuff and keep it. They're just going to throw it away. So photos, papers, like that didn't seem like a big deal to me. This asshole don't seem like that. He's probably a cutthroat businessman. At the very end, he says, I don't want to come off like some big person, so conservative. Someone asked if he was paying his own fair share. So this is also the richest man in Kentucky, and he's $2.5 billion. So that's what he's worth, is $2.5 billion. Now, Kentucky, we're talking about trillions of dollars and billions and trillions and all this, ridiculous amounts of money. He's making $2.5 billion. I was a little sad about that. I was a little depressed. I was like, man, Kentucky don't really have many rich people. We don't have that many rich people. Came over here and I checked out the wealthiest Americans by state, and that's where this article actually came from. But you have 2.3 billion, right? That's in Kentucky. Now, if you look all around the states, you can actually see that Kentucky's actually doing better than a lot of other states in terms of having the highest, right? In terms of being the richest person. Now, Texas got 35 billionaires. And that's another thing. There's no trillionaires, too. It's only like two-digit billionaires. So they haven't got to, 400 billion or 1,000 billion, which is a trillion. So you have 35 billionaire here. You got 1 billionaire. So New Mexico, Kentucky has a billionaire that's, more wealthy than New Mexico. 4.8, 1.2, right? So you got Utah, and then you got 1.7 Idaho, so we're doing better off than Idaho. Bill Gates is worth $80 billion, and he's out of Washington. 900 million, both of the Dakotas. Kentucky is doing better than both of the Dakotas. 900 million, 1.3 billion. North Dakota is only in the millions, right? I bet the rest of these billionaires probably laugh at that millionaire. You're just a millionaire. But if you want to become a millionaire, all you need to do is become a judge for Kentucky. The political process is so corrupt, and it's absolutely so backwards that, you get in there and you get the position for 8 years. You're making $130,000 a year times 8. That's $1 million. If you become a judge in Kentucky, you become a millionaire. Okay, so that's you barely clear $1 million. So after taxes and expenses, you won't be able to brag and get on a map like this. But I don't know. People say that it's easy to turn $1 into $2, but it's getting that first million that actually is the hardest part to do. So wealthiest Americans by state, right? So let's see, we're looking at some other comparison. 2.3 million. So there are states that are lesser than. West Virginia's got 1.6 billion. 1.8 billion here in Rhode Island, but there's a lot of them that's way more, 830 million, right? So there's another millionaire. He's just a millionaire. And then you got a lot more bigger ones too. You know, 13, 36 billion, 35 billion, I guess 80 billion, 19, 49. So fun little map there. Check it out, comparatively speaking. Is he paying his fair share of taxes? No. No, he's not. Working average Joes pay more percentage-wise on their taxes than what this asshole is going to have to pay. Percentage-wise, you know, if you take 1% of a million or 1% of 1,000, that's, you know, that's going to be a difference, and but you're still being, you know, taxed the exact same amount. So a lot of these rich people say, well, we're paying 50% of all the taxes, so give us a break. You're using all of our resources, right? Everybody's resources, all the state system and the court system and everything else. So yeah, we should be. You gotta pay your fair share of taxes. What the fuck? I get taxed when I go to a job, and I get a payroll check. I get taxed whenever I go to buy, you know, sales tax. I get taxed. You know, everywhere. There's taxes everywhere, and this asshole's not gonna get his fair share of taxes. That's not fair. That's not right. You know, if you make your money, good job. I ain't hating you. You know, if you made your wealth, you know, good job. Good for you. Now help your fucking community. Kentucky is actually going to they're getting big, okay? So the governor's election for Kentucky is going to be the revolution, okay? Kentucky's revolution is coming up. The governor's race is going to totally change the leadership, right? So Brashear's been in office for the last 8 years. Jack Conway is the Democratic favorite, and he's probably going to carry on Brashear's policies way better off than anybody else. Unfortunately, Jack Conway is on the wrong side of the issue when it comes to the war on drugs. And so there's going to be a hard thing. Do I want to keep my Obamacare, or am I going to, you know, lose my freedoms? And so the, you know, I'm not a slam dunk for Jack Conway. I hope someone else actually emerges that's better. They're talking about Matt Bevin might be mulling the Kentucky governorship, right? He ran for Senate in the Republican chair. Hal Heiner is pouring $4 million, right? This bitch, fucking rich-ass motherfucker, he ran for Louisville's mayor, and he was just race baiting the whole time, just putting a lot of race stuff. He's probably the one who actually got the Supreme Court case, right? The whole JCPS, all, you know, the big Supreme Court case against JCPS because they, you know, were treating black people bad. So Jack Conway raises $750,000 towards Kentucky's governor's race. So he's running. He's definitely in it. He's also... again, he got endorsed, I think, by some of the major ones. I forget the three. Oh, here you go. So 3 major ones. Former U.S. Senator Wendell Ford, former state auditor Crit Llewellyn. I love Crit Llewellyn. She was giving audits to everybody and just basically showing how, like, nearly every county in Kentucky is corrupt as fuck and everybody's stealing all this fucking money. These people get into positions of power in the middle of bumfuck too, and they think they can do whatever the fuck they want with the money and make all these backdoor deals with all these rich people and then fuck over the, you know, general working class people with their oppression, you know, their precious oppression. I'm humbled to receive the endorsements of 3 people been dedicated. So Matt Bevin, Adam Edelin will not run for governor. Hal Heiner, Edelin, Jack Conway. All right, so that's just a little bit of information about the gubernatorial race. There hasn't been... Gatewood Galbraith would have been the best fucking governor we would have ever had, but I don't know. Unfortunately, it seems like you have to play a game, right? You have to play a game and trick people and just be smiling. I'm Mr. Smiley, and that's why I'm going to do better. Well, I want substance. I want policy. I want to see change. I want to see Kentucky is the worst fucking state in the entire union, and I want to see that get better in terms of healthcare, education, in terms of wealth, education, healthcare. So these are major categories. We're more sicker, we're stupider, and we don't have as much money as everybody else. And you don't think that's going to, you know, the dumbness is going to affect like the other things, and plus, you know, greater crime, greater things. People feeling powerless. They don't know what to do in their own democratic system. So if they did have a problem, you're going to call some corrupt fucking cop to your house to deal with the problem? Nah, they won't do a fucking thing. So you need to know the system. You need to know civics. You need to have, the Kentucky people need to have an understanding of civics. And unfortunately, in our school system, public school system, from K to 12th grade, they never teach you civics. They teach you Kentucky history in 4th grade, right? So you've already fucking forget all about that by the time you graduate. But at no point do they teach you civics. They don't teach you the law. They don't give you a basic understanding of how Kentucky works. We're a federal society. So that means the United States and the state share power. So whatever the United States doesn't have, that leaves it up to Frankfurt. And I feel like if we were paying attention, if we actually give a shit, yeah, anybody could say, well, he's black and I don't like him. Okay, what the fuck ever. Yeah, I'm sure I really believe what you're saying. But what we need to start doing is looking at our local folks. So you go ahead and talk all the national shit that you want to, but ultimately the local politics is where how you get to the national level, right? So the when we start caring about our own communities, when we start caring about our own people, our own little tribes, our own our own counties, and then our own state, then we'll see a better country. But no, we don't see that in Kentucky. In fact, it's just an irrational love that people have for the state, but it's irrational, right? There's a bunch of hardships that's going on in this state, and it's an organizer's dream. So really, it's there's so many issues in Kentucky that anybody could get involved with. So it's an organizer's dream. There's so much fucked up shit in Kentucky. So there's plenty of stuff for anybody who wants to change the world to do here, or if you're for other people to come in, or Kentuckians themselves. That would be the best way, actually, for Kentucky themselves to change. Vico, I like Vico, Kentucky. That's the type of Kentucky I'd like to see. All right, so this was actually all about Gaza. It's all about Palestine and Israel and how the fuck Americans don't give a shit. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America. God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Naomi Wolf on Gaza. Jews, Muslims, citizens of the world in general have been following author Naomi Wolf. Naomi Wolf, I think she's the one who wrote The Shock Doctrine and some other things, so she's a badass. So you want to talk about women who I'm in love with, who I absolutely adore, okay? So she's out there. She's written all this books. The Shock Doctrine is absolutely... it's what we did with the Chile's, probably what's being done with America, right? So you just shock them into capitalism and just make everybody, if people poor and go off to the side, who gives a shit? You're only taking care of the owners. The powerful, rich, wealthy people are the only people that you need, because those are the ones that build the whole society, right? No, that's not true, but that's the assumption in America. Naomi Wolf, Ashley Judd, Amy Goodman, Abby Martin, Anna Kasparin. I'll repeat them. Naomi Wolf, Ashley Judd, Amy Goodman, Abby Martin, Anna Kasparin. They're wonderful women. They're all attractive in their own right, but they're so beautiful. They're so gorgeous. They're so fucking hot because they believe in something. They believe in something more than just their own, selfish selves. They and while we can't solve all of humanity's problems, to care about humanity doesn't necessarily mean that you have to, eventually you'd like to, right? Eventually you'd like to be able to solve all of humanity's problems, but we can act locally. We can think globally and act locally. So we can care about what's going on in Gaza, talk to people in our town, see who else cares about the people that's going on in Gaza. Then you see who the good people are. And those are the good people, and those are the people that you can organize yourself around. So Naomi Wolf she got censored, so she's posting a whole bunch of informative pieces, and some reason they had someone complained, and I guess they took her shit down. I've friended her and I'm following her now because they had done that shit, and she's just posting just facts and data. She's a reporter, or she knows a lot of reporters. She just keeps on getting a ton of information and she keeps typing it out. So it's really cool. It's really informative for those who want to know more about Gaza. Check out Naomi Wolf's Facebook page. So Nazism, right? This is what Nazism looked like. Hey, you're a Jew. Put this Jew patch on you, and get into the concentration camps and die. Zionism, exact same shit. Only instead of Jews, it's the Arabs. And it's, the Star of David goes from the peasant to the soldier. Fucking Netanyahu, this fucking bitch-ass piece of shit. He tells America, never second-guess me again on Hamas. Hamas is an evil terrorist group, and that's why we're allowed to kill as many fucking Palestinians as we want to. Yes, we started the invasion. Yes, we're the ones that started the bombing campaign. Yes, we've killed 14, 15, 1,600 plus people. They're still counting bodies, so it's just going to keep on rising. Yes, Netanyahu killed all these people. Most of them children, Yeah, most civilians. Okay. Everybody's, 40% are refugees. They have no place to stay. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. But don't you ever fucking second guess me again on Hamas. So this is Hitler. Hitler telling America, hey, I'm allowed to fucking genocide. You shut the fuck up, America. Shut the fuck up. And America does its duty, and it shuts the fuck up. I've actually, I was surprised about Joe Scarborough actually coming out against it. So finally, you're starting to see people. The dam is breaking. You're starting to see, people that traditionally have defended every fucking thing that Israel has done is starting to come out of the woodwork, and they're starting to say this is some bullshit. Bill Maher, Joe Scarborough, being the two that I'm thinking of. Also, Geraldo. Geraldo was fascinating. What he did with Hannity, when he was answering his Russell Brand interview. Okay, so let's keep on going. Today, almost everything is made in China except for courage. It's made in Palestine. So, talk about the highest virtues that we have. What the fuck does love, freedom, even power and wealth, what does any of that stuff matter if you don't have any courage? If you don't have courage to go after the rest of your virtues, courage is the most important virtue there is. So, I used to say, well, freedom, love, which one's more important, freedom or love? Freedom or love? And I couldn't ever decide which one, but courage, man. Courage is what makes freedom and love worth living. If you love something but with no courage, that ain't going to do nothing for anybody. That doesn't do anything for anybody that you love. If you have a desire for freedom but you don't have courage, you're going to be a slave. So of course you need courage. And the Palestinians are fucking courageous. I thought this was going to hit up in Haiti. I thought Haiti was going to, blow up like this. And this is unfortunate. This is America's doing. This is what, America, America. Adorable picture of two kids, right? Palestinian and Jew kid getting together, getting along. Can we all get along? Peace, love, unity. Get the fuck out of here, man. Israel's fucking sick. Palestinian youths are executed in Gaza town. Just fucking executed, right? Pow, pow. Just right there in the middle of the fucking town. 6 Palestinian youths, they say, allegedly killed execution style by the IDF. Now, I'm pretty sure that's what the fuck happened. So, they're the ones that's sieging. They're the ones that's pressing in. And they're the ones that started the war. And they're the ones that keep on bombing the United Nations hospitals and the schools. So they're bombing United Nations hospitals. They're bombing schools. And they're not even bombing, United Nations hospitals. It's not just Palestinian United Nations. It's everybody, right? So United Nations, they're fucking attacking the world is what they're doing. Israel thinks they can control the fucking world. And if it comes to United Nations truck or a shelter, they're going to blow it up. And what sucks about that is that United Nations, they establish those places as safe havens. This is places where refugees can come. And we're United Nations. We're not trying to build up terrorism. There's no secret terrorists here. But they didn't give a shit. They bombed the fuck out of the place. And, that's fucking sick and barbaric. But also it's just kind of showing you that they have no respect for the world's opinion. They have no fucking respect whatsoever. So this picture is taken in a Belgian train station. So Belgium, the entire train station is painted in the colors of Palestine. So free Palestine. Palestine's burning right now. It's been burning for, a month? Several fucking weeks now. And, people are just now starting to tune into it and check it out, what's going on. It's fucking sick, man. The pictures, we need to stop it, and I don't know what else to do except for just tell the fucking truth. I'm just one man out here, and maybe by informing and making, people more aware about what's going on, hopefully things can change. So America, America. So the soldier admits murdering Palestinian civilians was a planned act of revenge. So they're making it sound like it was revenge, but there was actually 800 Palestinians that was arrested without any reason before the attacks had happened, and then there was also airstrikes. So Israel's dropping bombs with fucking planes, and then they're going to blame the Palestinians for they're the ones that did the revengeful thing, but it wasn't even Hamas. It was a rogue group of Hamas, or people that was loosely associated with it, that fired off these dud rockets, right? So that's pretty much all they got. They got rocks and dud rockets. So it's not a fair conflict, right? But they started it. So for them to sit there and act like, they're defending themselves, you started it. You started murdering indiscriminately to begin with, and you can't stop yourself. It sounds very much like a country I reside in. So Israeli soldier admits murdered Palestinians. So he goes and admits it, right? Here's a fascinating story. I just took a bunch of clips, actually. So this is a delivery drone carrying marijuana, cell phones, and tobacco crashed outside a South Carolina prison. Officials aren't sure where the drone would have gone had it cleared. So it's going into the prison, right? So they're trying to give some weed, cell phones, and tobacco into a prison. So somebody's in there that's got some powerful interest, and they was able to get a drone. So we're going to start seeing this type of shit, actually, I think, more and more. America, we have drones. That's what Obama's going to be known for, is his drone programs. And, so we're going to start seeing more and more drones flying over people's skies. And it's going to get weird. It's going to get weird. People are going to say that they own the sky above them, and they would be right, because that's the dominion of property, the land. You draw the land up, and everything that goes down is what you own, and everything that goes up is what you own. How do you feel about this? Legendary music producer Brian Eno says funding Israel is like funding the KKK. It's totally true. Israel's like a white supremacist fucking group. They have apartheid there. The black Jews have their own schools, and there's a segregation that's going on in Israel. So, you know, they are white supremacists and they're imperialists. So they keep on, you know, they don't look at the Palestinians as people because they got brown skin. They look different than them. So they don't mind, you know, encroaching upon their territories. Ignorance might be bliss for the ignorant, but for the rest of us, it's a fucking pain in the ass. Yeah, ignorance is bliss for you dumb motherfuckers that don't know shit, you ignorant ass fucking pieces of shit. And actually, it's the unreasonable person that fucking dictates the shit. So ignorant ass fucking unreasonable assholes are what's ruining this fucking nation. They're ruining this fucking nation. Ignorance is bliss? Get the fuck out of here. I want to know what's going on. Ignorant, I'd rather be ignorant of the shit. Why? So you can close your eyes and not have to do anything or say anything about anything ever. It's the exact opposite of a good person. It's a nihilist. It's a person who closes their eyes and never fucking says or does anything about any injustice that they see. And that's not cool. United Nations reports that small-scale organic farming is the only way to feed the world. Yeah, of course. You can feed yourself. Give everybody a plot of ground. You have the Thomas Jefferson said that America is supposed to be an agrarian nation. You know, where's my 40 acres and a mule? If we all had a piece of land, we'd all have a reason to fight for, you know, ourselves. And then you want to stop communism, give everybody a piece of land. That would stop communism. And instead of being collectivized and workers' rights and all this, people, when they start to own things and you start to build them up to be, you know, like you all, like Boone, Daniel Boone, and like, you know, the Puritans, who was all into land speculating and buying people's property, but eventually they fucked up, right? Simon Kitten owned 500,000 acres. Anyways, the people can bitch about food stamps all they fucking want, but being a renter, sitting there giving a shit ton of fucking money to some fucking landlord, like, I have no drive whatsoever to improve my house or my yard. You know, I don't want to make any real permanent, unless I will use it over and over again. I don't want to make this a better place to live. None of this is, I'm just pissing money away. None of it's buying any equity. If it was through a bank, right, they would own the thing, but I would be buying a piece of it, you know, as I go through life. And that would be so much better. So United Nations reports that small-scale organic farming is the only way to feed the world. That's the way we should feed ourselves, too. Then people could say, don't have food stamps because you got your own land. You can raise your own fucking crops and can it and save your own food. And I think that would be better, actually, instead of all food coming from the supermarket. And I don't know. Rare Baby Jeep, a goat-sheep mix, is born in Arizona. So here we go. Here comes the cloning. You know, we've actually cloned Dolly like 20, 30 years ago, so we've already cloned a sheep, but this is, we're starting to crossbreed different animals now. So now we got geeps. We got lots of geeps. And it's adorable, you know, animal. So it's a sheep. It has wool like a sheep and can hooves. It can climb up mountains and eat a bunch of trash. Senator Ted Cruz is a Coke puppet. He's just bribed by the Kochs to introduce a bill that would gift or sell them and their allies America's national forest parks and other public lands and open them for mining, drilling, fracking, and logging. Spread his shame. Meanwhile, in Tel Aviv, you got this fucking Nazi with the fucking horns drinking blood like a goddamned red-eyed fucking lunatic devil. This is Hitler. We're looking at a genocidal fucking maniac Hitler. You can't live next to Palestine without getting along with them, you fucking prick. You can't do two-state fucking solution. You can't just let them be. You ever do a Gaza blockade so they don't get no food and no you know, clothing or no imports whatsoever fucking ever, and then you're going to bomb the fuck out of them? It's shooting fish in the barrel. You're shooting fucking fish in the barrel. You ain't brave. You're fucking weak and you're lame. U.S. is a proud sponsor of terror in Gaza because, you know, America the Beautiful. Throwback Thursday. In 1978, a student who worked a minimum wage summer job could afford to pay a year's full tuition at a 4-year public university of their choice. 1978, tuition was like $1,000, $2,000. You could work a summer and put yourself through college. Now you have to fucking take out housing loans, $100,000. You got to go in debt to get some fake ass fucking if you're going to be a teacher and they put you in a teacher training school, they don't teach you how to teach. They teach you how to oppress. It's all about classroom management. And again, no democracy, all about oppression. Shut the fuck up. And then they brainwash you into becoming a slave, a bitch-ass slave, Uncle Tom, right? So by you becoming an obedient piece of shit, you lose your fucking soul, you lose your morals and ethics, and then you turn around and tell the kids that this is how it's supposed to be. This is how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to lose your soul and lose your mind and just kiss the boss's ass. And that's just how it works. And so they need to shut the fuck up and not have any souls or morals or ethics or their own thoughts or think that they're autonomous sovereign individuals who are worthy of freedom and rights, human rights, right? And just do as they're told. Shut the fuck up and just do as you're told. Some people wait to yell towards the end. I know a lot of people that just start yelling. You have Julie Chancellor, actually out of JCPS and at one of the schools. At the very beginning, her first rule to me when I was doing student teaching there was you must yell at the children. You must yell at them. That is a fucking rule. No, you're going to sit there and say you're not going to yell at the kids? Fuck you. You don't know how this school system works. This school system works by us yelling at the fucking kids, and then they learn, they read the fucking books and do the shit that we tell them to do, and then they become geniuses. No, it doesn't work like that. It's valedictorian. It doesn't fucking work like that. All you're doing is teaching them to be manipulated for the rest of their lives. You're destroying all their relationships because you're showing them that they're an obedient bitch, right? To the fucking powerful people. They're obedient fucking bitches. And they're destroying relationships. So if they want to talk to anybody, you're not allowed to talk to anybody. You have to, make some sort of thing outside. But really, you guys are all a bunch of bitch-ass slaves. How can you respect a bitch-ass slave? Every motherfucker in class was a bunch of bitch-ass slaves. Okay, teacher, whatever you say, teacher, I'll do what you say. The only ones that aren't fucking bitch-asses are, the criminals, the lumpen proletariat, the people that get into fights, and then eventually they get kicked out and expelled, and then we never hear or see from them ever again. So that's America, okay? Totalitarian fascism is the fucking, the norm. And it's bullshit. You got Mexico gives free college, Europe gives free college, and if we want to be competitive on the national stage, of course we would be offering the same or at least affordable college. One summer, you could work one summer in the 70s and 80s and then go to fucking college. That's such, man, if I would have been able, man, God, if I could have chose the colleges I really wanted to go to, if I could have chose the education and the life direction that I want to fucking go to, it's nearly fucking impossible actually fighting out here when you got your own fucking family, mother, father, sisters, brothers, and then cousins, aunts, uncles. Every one of them motherfuckers want to smash you into submission and tell you that you're an obedient fucking bitch. Shut the fuck up. And why do they say that type of shit? Because they've seen that shit happen my entire fucking life. So instead of actually siding with the victim, siding with the guys and saying it's bullshit, they side with the fucking dictator, violent dictator who does all this fucking shitty shit. And another thing, they respect them. So how do you get the respect of somebody who's been getting their ass kicked their entire fucking life? You can only beat the shit out of them. They only respect people who beat the fuck out of them. If you get beat up, they fucking hate you. And I'm the exact opposite. Frankly, a fight, if you started it, you're in the wrong. But if you just get jumped or if you just get beat up, of course that's a fucking victim, and of course fuck the person going around beating them up. When it comes to two people in a fight, it doesn't take much for a fight just to explode, right? Just some little insult here or there. Or self-control, right? You could just have self-control, but like two people could just be in, if I'm sitting at a tree reading a book, not minding my own business, not bothering anybody, not saying shit to anybody, and then somebody comes over to me and wants to fucking fight me, that's fucking bullshit. That's fucking bullshit, that whole thing. If I got up and kicked his ass, I'd be in the right. If I went and told somebody and said, hey, this motherfucker's going around trying to kick people's asses and shit, that's fucking bullshit. So that's, I fuck a bully, fuck those who use intimidation, fuck the oppressors, fuck fascists. I love the people who, I love the victims and the oppressed, but I don't like them in some respects because they're the ones that prop up these oppressors. The oppressors wouldn't be shit if you didn't have motherfuckers sucking their dick. So if they didn't have somebody that was actually, following them and doing all the stuff that they was saying was good and right, nobody would fucking believe them. No one would give a shit. You think you can just fucking beat the shit out of somebody and then expect them to fucking date you? I didn't know. Absolutely not. And so it's a brave new world. It's a fucking weird ass world, to be honest with you. So I got my mother who got her ass kicked her entire fucking life. Well, she sucks his dick until the fucking day she dies. She'll never stop. For what? Since 19, she's born in 61. They got married in 79. Okay, so that's 35 fucking years. 35 fucking years these assholes. You've been fucking married in this, toxic relationship. and they're going to carry on as if they're fucking right and they're doing what everybody else needs to be doing and everybody else is wrong when they couldn't be farther from the fucking truth. So these are some of my struggles. Maybe you can you relate to them. Here's a tiny home inspiration, Vina's tiny house in California. What do you think? More photos here. So yeah, these are adorable houses. I think I would like to have one of these houses. I mean, really, it's like a cheap little efficient. It shows architecture, it shows a design, and it shows like there's, you know, I'm tired of looking at these apartment buildings and these trailers and these bland ass fucking cookie cutter homes and these subdivisions. So why, you know, I went to Haiti. Haiti's the poorest nation in all of you know, all the Americas, the poorest fucking nation, but they had houses just like this. Every one of them had houses, not just like this, but like fancified houses or architecturally designed, you know, smart houses, houses that were like designed to be beautiful and intriguing as well as functional. So instead of just some box. Here's a box, it's got a bed, got a toilet, get the fuck in there. Yeah. And so that's unfortunate. I know I'm going to go back to what I was saying before, but it's unfortunate that it takes, that they will be shitty. Okay, so my siblings are, you know, these people that are for oppressors. My mother, my parents, a lot of fucking people actually, but the people that are for fucking oppressors, they will suck their oppressor's dick till the day they die. They will give a piece of shit, asshole, violent psychopath who manipulates them and always controls them all the love in the world, all due deference, all the fucking love in the world. If somebody was to insult them, they would stand up and say, fuck you, I'll fucking destroy you. Don't you say any bad thing about my daddy. I love my daddy. Right? And so they, you know, the dichotomy of how they treat me versus how they treat him. They give him all the fucking love and shit in the world. And actually, I will spread this to Spalding University here in a second. So, all the love in the world goes to him, and then when it comes to me, if I try to say anything, they'll fucking shut me down. Shut the fuck up, you little bitch. We watch you get your fucking face smacked every fucking day, and you're nobody. Shut the fuck up. Shut your damn mouth. And don't you dare tell about the crimes that my daddy's fucking commit. So they'll cover an evil, psycho, violent fucking piece of shit that's committing crimes, that's hurting other people, because that's who they are. And they'll also fucking, they will respect nobody. They will disrespect everybody in the entire fucking world. Oh, you're a man? Oh, fuck you, man. What are you gonna do about it, huh? I just shat all over you and told you was a piece of shit. Well, they're fucking gangsters, and they know the fucking world. They have to eat and breathe just like any of us. They're no fucking different. The Spalding University comparison, you beat the shit out of your wife, right? My mother, if you beat the shit out of her, she'll stay with you till the day you die. If you treat women respectfully, they'll rob you $50,000. They'll take every fucking thing away from you. They'll treat you like a little bitch-ass slave. Do this, do that. Oh, you didn't do that? Now, fuck you. So that the oppression is wrong. The oppression is wrong. There's no equality, right? So, you know, fuck women who sit there and say that they're for equality. They're not for equality. These are oppressor women. And then fuck the men who have been showing that fascism is the fucking way it's supposed to be ever since fucking word jump. Fuck you. That is not the way it's supposed to be. We're supposed to be fucking slaves to some fucking bitch-ass asshole that just goes around bossing everybody. Fuck you. Anybody can be a fucking boss, okay? And we could all be leaders in our own field. And democracy says that we all participate. So it's all fucking wrong. It's not even close to being right. Spalding University, that's what they showed me. So there's no middle ground. There's no middle ground. You either beat the shit out of your wife and then you'll keep her. That's even what a lesbian told me. Ty from the west end of Louisville. She was dating a badass fucking woman. A badass black woman. And how the fuck did she keep a badass black bitch? What she called herself, right? I'm a bad bitch. That's right, I'm a bad bitch. And she was. I did go to a dance with her actually, and she's got some moves, right, for being a bad bitch. But Ty was able to hold on to her and keep her. And how was Ty able to hold on and keep her? She says you always got to press on them. You always got to be on them all the time. So it's either one or the other. If you're not oppressing them, then it's like, well, shit. Then they must be the slave. I'm the boss and they're the slave, and there's no middle ground. It's either there's a boss and a slave, or a slave and a boss, but there's no just equal people enjoying each other's company. Hey, I like you being on this planet. Hey, I like you being on this planet. Good. Now, let's build on that. You exist, I exist. I have consciousness. I have thoughts floating through my head. I can speak English. I've had a lot of experiences in America. I know what, you know, the McDonald's tastes like, all the food in McDonald's. I've gone through the school system. I've rode buses and trains. I've been a fucking American. And there's many things that you could relate to if you gave a fuck and tried to. But this is a capitalistic country. You got slit throats, dog eat dog world. Stab people in the fucking back. Do whatever the fuck it is you can do in order to survive. Toni Morrison, the very serious function of racism is distraction. It keeps you from doing your work. It keeps you explaining over and over again your reason for being. for existence. Someone says you got no language, so you spend 20 years proving that you do. Someone says your head isn't shaped properly, so you have scientists working on the fact that it is. Someone says that you have no art, then you dredge that up. Someone says you got no kingdoms, you dredge that up too. And none of it's necessary, because there will always be one more thing for a fucking racist. So go back to my so-called fucking parents and family. I mean, seriously, this is not a family. There's no way that this is a fucking family. And then another thing is also a self-fulfilling prophecy. So they treat me like an asshole the whole fucking time. They're going to throw me in fucking jail, steal $50,000 away from me. And yet when I say, hey, that's bullshit. Oh, look, he's an angry mess. He fucking stands up for himself. You know, that's bullshit. They're not standing up because I'm a psycho or that I'm bad or that I'm crazy. They're standing up against me because I'm speaking. I'm saying that this is wrong and it's fucking bullshit. And the oppressors want to fuck you over any means possible. By any means necessary. They will fuck you over. They will put anything and everything into it. They will do it all. These are my fucking sisters, Christy and Katie. Christy and Katie don't give a fuck about anybody. They're the most selfish fucking people I've ever fucking met. You want to talk about racism? Christy quit dating Justin White because Barbara Williams told her not to. Barbara Williams says nigger this, nigger that, nigger this, nigger that. Right? But it doesn't matter who's good and who's bad. You're just supposed to fucking suck the masses' dick. And just, you know, that's just how it's supposed to be. No, that's bullshit. She's a bad fucking person. Racism is fucking stupid. But it's interesting that these same people that I'm talking about, and I love black people, okay? I love the black culture. Took a whole bunch of African-American classes and a whole bunch of shit. So I definitely identify with oppressed people, you know, all over the world throughout history. And the interesting thing about this, about racism, is look, this is what the fuck they do to me. This is what the fuck they do to me. So no, I'm not black. I don't give fucking racism. You know, people don't say, hey, you're black, get out of here. But they do say, hey, you're a man, get the fuck out of here. Hey, you're a piece of shit. Hey, you're somebody else on this planet that I have to fucking deal with, right? So there's no love. There's definitely no love. But if just speaking about my so-called fucking family, because they ain't fucking family, they're the enemies. There's nobody out here that has to live with a group of people trying to fucking destroy them in every which way that they fucking go. There's no, I mean, there are people out here, but that you cannot say that that's a fucking healthy and easy fucking thing to overcome. I would have been a lawyer 20 years ago if they could have shown an ounce of love to me, but they can't. They don't know how to. They don't know how to treat people differently. They cannot love my being. They can't love me just existing. Me just existing is a crime to them. And fine, fuck them. If my existence is rebellion, then fuck it, I'm gonna fucking exist until I die. You know what I mean? You're gonna sit there and tell me my existence is a rebellion? No, it's not a rebellion. I am a person, human, I'm allowed to be here. But like, everything is never good enough. Oh, well, you know, you did this, so you did that, you did this, you did that. It's never fucking good enough. They just want to oppress, go suck your daddy's dick. And you know what? If I did all the things that they wanted me to do, they wouldn't respect me, they wouldn't like me, they wouldn't, none of that shit. Just get in line, know your fucking role. This is how it works. Shut the fuck up. No, fuck you. I'm not getting paid. They made me work a bunch of slave labor, never fucking paid me. Mom would make us rip up our checks whenever the fuck we would be out there, you know, setting the tobacco and shit. Rip up the fucking checks, right? Just be a great fucking demonstration. All that work, who gives a fuck? You don't matter. Your wealth does not matter. The wealth of my sister, you know, of the aunt that we were working for, that matters. That's more important. As long as Mary gets richer and not my own kids. So when, you know, I'm definitely, I'm not just, this is just the truth. I'm not fucking trying to put this out. So don't listen to it. If you're a hater, don't listen to any of this stuff. This is not for the haters. This is for myself and for anybody else that, you know, can relate. Let's see, I was gonna say something else, but actually I'm gonna carry on. If I think of it, I'll come back. So the Israeli military, which said it was reviewing the incident, claimed the incident had occurred during heavy combat in the area and accused terrorists of using civilian infrastructure and international symbols as human. So attacking schools, right? Palestine, Israel attacking schools. I guarantee you my fucking family don't know about this shit, nor do they give a fuck. You know? In fact, they're probably proud. Mitch McConnell came out and said, yes, hell yeah, Israel bombed the fuck out of them Palestinians. So if they do know anything about the issue, especially Christy, if Christy knew that I was for Gaza and for Palestine, automatically she'd be for Israel. Automatically. It doesn't even fucking matter. Oh, wait, you don't like that? Well, then I must like them. I must love them. Okay. That's a bad, okay. And then she just does it. She does that with politics. She does that with every fucking thing. It doesn't matter. If I say, hey, that grass is green. No, it's fucking lightly green, blah, blah, blah. I'm a bitch. Okay, thanks, bitch. We're not really having a fucking real conversation. We've never been family. We've never had a fucking relationship. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. You want to suck your daddy's dick? You suck your daddy's dick until the day you die. I don't want to fucking talk to you. I don't want to be around you. You're a piece of shit. You're not my family. Don't even fucking pretend like we're fucking family. Don't even fucking pretend that shit. That piece of shit, I started the reunion. I started a grip shover reunion. I go to school. I see that there's problems brewing at home. I have no place to stay for the first 3 years that I'm at Xavier University. Every time summer came by, all my friends would go back home and live with their parents. But when summer came by for me, I was like, shit, where the fuck am I going to go? And I'd have to fucking be in a mad dash just to figure that out. And Xavier University, 2004, 2003. I don't know. I forgot the point I was going to. Okay, so what was the point? The point was that it's bullshit. That they fucking try to destroy me and try to fucking take me down, and it's just it ain't right. It just ain't right. So this is more for this is for me and for anybody that can relate. But to be honest, this is for myself. This is for my children. This is for my own kids. When I raise my own kids, I'm not going to smack them around like little bitch-ass nobodies. That's my pride and joy. I will not, I don't think you could raise a fucking kid without ever having to raise your finger at them once. You're so much fucking bigger than them. You could just force them over here or over there. But to be a little bitch and fucking hit a fucking child like you a man, like you a woman, you ain't an adult. You think you're a big-ass adult because you go around hitting kids? Fuck you. Haitians love to beat their kids too. So, it's and I remember a black person was like, oh, I would never say I would hit my father. Oh, well, that's why you're a fucking Uncle Tom little kiss ass bitch. That's why. You said, and he made it to be a black thing. He said, well, black people can never say something like that. Well, that's good because, you used to have a white massa. Now you got your parents as your massa, and they use violence. That's what white massa used to do. Use a bullwhip, right? Shut the fuck up, slave. Get in line. Black men, black women are doing the same shit. White men and white women are doing the same shit too. Don't get me wrong. In fact, they're the ones that fucking started it. The men, man, if there's, there's a lot of groups of people that I am not happy with. But if there was one group of people that would have to blame, it would be the owners of society. It would be the upper echelon people, and that's usually white, rich males, okay? So, for anybody to try to say that I'm something or another, no, it's all about oppressors and the oppressed. That's it. The oppressors and the oppressed. I don't want to be a master, and I don't want to be a slave. That's Abraham Lincoln. So, you want to sit there and say that I'm fucking crazy or that I have, some weird ass... No. My thoughts come from Abraham Lincoln. My thoughts come from Benjamin Disraeli. My thoughts come from Albert Einstein, Mark Twain. Just go down the line. Jean-Jacques Rousseau, Noam Chomsky, Oscar Romero, Henry David Thoreau. Just go on and on. There's so many fucking heroes that I have. I have so many, I don't have a fucking father, but I got more fathers out in this fucking world because I don't have one. And that's fucking beautiful and tragic at the same time. But frankly, it's not a tragedy in terms of that I'm going down, I'm going up. I'm going up. The best way to be happy is to lead a good life. And to do that you can do, just instead of, I have been using my hate in order to get me from one step of my life to the next step, and it's worked. It's absolutely worked, because when you hate, you stand up and you say, I'm going to change about my conditions in my situation. And it's not healthy, and, it was really hard for me to do, but it's how I got through, and it was how I was able to manage. Now I'm at a point where I feel like, okay, it needs some breathing room. And when you do hate, you do put a lot of energy and time into one person, and they kind of control you still. So the best thing to do is not to hate, not to destroy, just contempt. Fuck them. I don't care. You live a good life. Don't live a good life. What the fuck ever. That's you do you, okay? And so that's where I'm at now. So when it comes to raising my kids, you're goddamn I'm going to raise my kids with fucking respect and make sure they know that they have dignity and shit. I mean, seriously, to have a fucking gang of fucking people that fuck you your whole life. They fucked me for 17 years. Christy, Katie, Lucy, Kevin, they watched me get fucking pounded and beaten and smacked and enslaved and disrespected over and over and over and over and over and over again. There was never a break. There was never 1 second that there was actually freedom or time to be yourself. Never. Never. And the only time there was when he would leave. He would work for 3 days and then come back for 3 days when he was flying planes. Well, we knew what 3 days he was gone, because that's the difference between fucking slavery and freedom. And they watched all that type of shit. Never have they talked about it. Never have they said it, that it was wrong. They haven't talked to anybody and tried to deal with any of the feelings. They've justified it. In their minds, they think it was good and right and proper. And then they have a mother that's been sucking the dick the whole time, showing the whole world, yes, you suck the violent oppressor's dick. That's what you do. And your own son and your own kids, you fuck them. You fuck them over. And it's frustrating, man. It's frustrating because it took a while for me to actually get here. People's like, oh, don't hate them. Don't hate. Fuck you. You don't fucking know me. When I go to the fucking court, Because Kevin and Lucy want to sue me again, right? They want to fucking re-up on a restraining order. I'm living in Louisville, riding on a bicycle, and they're sitting there saying, I'm beating them up in their own house. Nah, Kevin Dean's abusing the fucking court system. He's been abusing the court system like he's been abusing me. He tried to fucking murder me, but to Spike Wright, that's not a crime. It's not a fucking crime to Spike. It's okay if you beat the fuck up out of your kids. It's okay if you try to destroy them every fucking which way. And why is it? Because Spike looks at me as a fucking threat. These old fucking bastards look at this. So that's the exact opposite. They see a young person who's got talent, who's smart, who's capable and could do great things, and they put every fucking piece of resource to smash that motherfucker to make sure that they don't fucking succeed. Just because they want a slave. They want a bitch-ass slave. Shut the fuck up and do as the fuck as as I tell you. And that's fucking insane. That's the exact opposite of what I'm gonna do. When I raise my children and they show an independent thought, or they show some sort of initiative to accomplish some type of project, you're goddamn right I'm gonna fucking be there. You're goddamn right. We're social animals, and we need that type of connection and that love. And, what a better way to actually, that's how you teach. That's how you teach. You watch a kid grow up, and they're going to be falling and pooping and doing all this shit. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. But as they get older and older, you're going to show them how to ride a bike. You're going to show them how to write their name. You're going to show them how to do this thing and that thing. And they're going to learn that way. Not by you saying right in their face, do this, but because you made it fun and interesting, and you build a relationship. And it's going to be so, God, I'll be the best fucking daddy you've ever fucking seen. But not just that, but I think I'll be... Give me a chance, America. Give me a chance. I think I'll be the best mayor, county judge, governor, whatever field I get into. I'm going to change the world, and that's just how it is. So she was unstoppable, not because she did not have failures or doubts, but because she continued on despite them. And that's what I'm doing. I'm unstoppable, not because I don't have failures and doubts. I do. But because I'm going to keep on fucking going. Sovereign citizen movement seen by U.S. law enforcement as top terrorist threat. That's fascinating. We talk about all these Arab terrorists, but really the biggest terrorists that the American government are worried about are white people with all these fucking guns walking in the fucking, Arby's and doing all this other crazy shit. So, homegrown terrorist. This is adorable. Little picture. Oh, she's peeking out of her little, shantytown shack that they threw up because her entire fucking city was bombed by Israel and Benji Netanyahu. Fucking Yahoo. He's a fucking Netanyahu. We will welcome them with love and in coordination with the Palestinian government. We will find these little girls and boys Venezuelan parents. Venezuela. We will accept their injured and orphaned Palestinian children. So before, there was no country that would actually accept them to take them in. Why the fuck would you not do that? The whole world should accept every, if that's how we're going to do it, just fucking allow Israel to do their thing, and then just, allow other countries. So they're going to be mass migrations, and will they get their land back, or will they just be dispersed all throughout the, the world? Dear world, can we please stop killing each other now? Thank you. Genocide is permissible. This man fucking wrote this article here saying, you know what? Maybe we do just need to wipe out the fucking Palestinians, Genocide is permissible here because we're the fucking Nazis and the Palestinians are the Jews and the Jews are dirty. And then he deleted it. And then someone was like, oh, he don't understand the internet. Someone would have had to have captured that immediately, right? As soon as they saw it, and then come back to here. When genocide is permissible. Oh, that's heroic. That's real heroic there. Obama, we tortured some folks. We tortured under Bush. We tortured everywhere. We're a warlike society. In fact, it almost goes with the fucking, the terrain. But it is good that he's admitting to it, and maybe we'll actually change our policy when it comes to that. Because he's carrying on Bush's tactics. And the CIA was like in 41 different countries, extraditing fucking torture. And we're supposed to be the good guys. And that's what we've always been bragged about. Like we do bomb and kill if we need to, but once we only go after military targets, and then once we take over the, the town, then, then it's peace, right? Like in Iraq, right? We invaded Iraq, and now it's just peaceful there. It's peaceful in Iraq, and all the neighbors, Middle East, actually the whole world was so happy that we fucking invaded Iraq and killed 1 million Iraqi people. They were so happy about it. Nobody knows what killed 70,000 fish after a fracking spill in Ohio because Halliburton is exempt from disclosing what chemicals they use. It's a wild picture to see so many dead fucking fish. But you want to talk about dead fucking fish? Look at the Palestinians. The fucking Palestinians is like this. Shooting fish in a fucking barrel. They was in a lake, dumped some chemicals, now they're all fucking dead. Hell, chemical warfare. If you just want a genocide, just fucking use chemical warfare. Use our sarin gas from Syria. Get that sarin gas from Assad, which actually I've heard turned out to be a lie. So America 67-7 killed 378 children. $492 billionaires living in this country, and 16 million kids are living in poverty. So that's great. That's great for the 492 billionaires, right? Including Kentucky billionaire, whatever. What was his name? Mr. Rich, Mr. Public Storage. So Mr. Public Storage is the billionaire, the richest man in Kentucky. You know, Mr. Public Storage, and he's doing okay. You know, 492 billionaires. So you know, I know the types of people that I grew up around, and I've been in this country for a long ass time. So they will suck the 492 billionaires' dicks, not knowing who they are, not knowing anything about them if they're good or bad, just knowing that they're fucking rich. What, you got a lot of money? I'll kiss your ass. That's what happens when you have. That's what happens when you have no morals, and your actions don't stem from any type of principles. If you have no principles and no morals, all you're doing is doing whatever the fuck you can get away with. You're doing anything and everything in order to get away with shit. And that's horrible. That's horrible, because we need to have morals in order to. Julian Assange says when we train our minds to watch injustice and we say nothing about it, we're training ourselves to be fucking submissive in the situations of injustice, and we're only going to, eventually we're going to become fucking psychopaths who cannot empathize with anybody else. And so that's a problem. That's a problem when you watch injustice over and over again and you don't say nothing, you don't do nothing. In fact, it almost looks like you approve of it. Martin Luther King said that silence is betrayal. So, and in situations of the oppressed and the oppressors, those who do nothing, you have chosen this side of the oppressor. You've done nothing. They're all beating up this poor fucking kid, and you've done nothing. You went ahead and allowed the oppressors to do their thing. 4 agreements. You can read the specifics, but be impeccable with your word. Yes, truth, honesty. How else are we going to get through this world without truth and honesty? If I want to know that when a friend comes up to me and say, hey, this guy robbed me down the street and we need to go get him, and I go out there and, I'd like to believe him. I'd like to believe that is what exactly happened. And that goes with trust, too. So trust, truth, honesty, of course. These are things you need for a relationship, of course. Don't take anything personally. Nothing others do is because of you. What others say and do is a projection of their own reality, their own dream. So that's actually fucking fascinating. Someone hits you and someone insults you. None of that matters to you. They're hitting you because you're real, you exist, and they don't want you to exist and be real. They're empty inside of themselves. They're vapid, empty, soulless fucking pieces of shit. And so the only pleasure that they actually get, because they have no souls, they have no morality, the only pleasure that they get is sadistic fucking violence on others, hurting other people. They get pleasure from other people's pain, and that's the only pleasure that they get in their fucking sick, fucked up worlds. That's why we need to start, putting morality and ethics in, and we need to stop with the totalitarianism, stop with the child. There's so many fucking things that we need to stop with, and ultimately, I think it's going to start locally. It's going to start within our own personal. It's going to start with ourselves. This is going to start with the personal relationships that we have. Do we show respect to others, or are we bossing everybody around? Do we show, respectful? And then it'll just build from there. So change yourself. Treat other people the way you want to be treated. And then get more people like that together and start changing the world. America, America. God shed his grace on thee and crowned thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. What's fucked up even more about this picture, not only is his whole fucking legs and butt and privates are fucking blown up, I think he's still alive. There's doctors working on him and trying to piece him together. So, he won't have any fucking fun for the rest of his life. No sexual fun, no children, maybe, no children. Well, DNA, maybe blood samples, but they have to be rich, right? So, and it looks like he's alive. That's what this is, so makes this even more fucked up. He's alive on a fucking deathbed and they're trying to fucking piece him together. Alive and like this is the shape. This is what America represents. Okay? This is America. Look at yourself, America. This is what you represent. You'll look at this shit and you'll turn away and not give a fuck. Go eat your fucking Big Mac, sit on your lazy boy furniture, click on the fucking television, go get drunk, go fucking Dale Hollow and boat all over the fucking place and just laugh at, you know, everybody else. That's why that turned up video, getting turned up for what? You got all those fucking yuppies with the fucking sunglasses and shit, you know, cruising in the fucking sailboat, and then all of a sudden they hit a wave and they fall down, and it's sad, and it probably got hurt or whatever. But no, they didn't get hurt. They didn't get hurt like this. You know, they might have bumped their head or something, and that would have sucked. But those are the fucking assholes that don't give a fuck about Palestine. Palestine. Yeah, liberation, right? It almost looks like this is how we liberated Iraq. Fuck, what's the difference between what Israel's doing to Palestine and what we did to Iraq? What's the difference between what Israel's doing to Palestine and what America did to the Shawnee, Iroquois, Cherokee, Yuchi, Chickasaw? How's that any different? Was it wrong? That's another thing bad about our education system. They don't teach in American history that it was wrong to genocide. Basically, there were no Indians here. They all died of diseases, and it was just a big happy hunting ground. We came and found this plush land with all these animals and berries and shit, and we just went ahead and set up shop, and here we are today. No, it started off with bloody fucking genocide, which is fucking bullshit, okay? I can forgive them because they're 200-300 years, you know, back or whatever. So they're a bunch of chimpanzees. They're a bunch of wild fucking chimpanzees that don't know fucking any better. I don't forgive them. I'd say I understand it, but I don't forgive them because it's fucking wrong. What George Washington did to the Iroquois, he's a terrorist. George Washington's a fucking terrorist. He burned down 41 Iroquois towns. He didn't just go after the Iroquois warriors. He did a scorched earth policy where they wiped out entire fucking towns. They was known as a town destroyer. 41 Iroquois towns in New York during the Sullivan expedition, during the Sullivan campaign. That's George Washington. That's the father of the fucking country, right? The greatest man that's ever fucking lived was engaged in genocide. And he also had slaves too. So, and he would kill anybody who tried to desert his army. So, you know, the more you learn about somebody, maybe he's not so fucking great. Everybody says he's perfect and great. Maybe he's just more of a symbol for your fucking perfect greatness. Because it don't sound like he really is perfect and great. He's on the $1 bill. You got Andrew Jackson, then you got McKinley, and then you got Alexander Hamilton. He's the one that wanted to get America in debt. Give America debt, then they'll be your slaves forever. Undocumented immigrants don't take welfare without paying taxes. You're thinking of corporations. Yeah, nobody bitches about that. All these Republicans, oh, these poor people. Fuck these poor people eating all the food stamps. I'm getting tired of paying. Yeah, right. I hate people when they talk about taxes. You're paying taxes. Shut the fuck up. You probably don't pay any taxes. People that bitch about the taxes and poor people taking my tax dollars, my tax money. How much money did you actually put into Frankfurt? Do you know how much money actually went to Frankfurt? Do you know how much money actually goes to Frankfurt and is doled out into people in food stamps? Do you have any clue? Or is it all federal dollars? And if it's all federal dollars and you're paying, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I would love for people to actually fucking crunch the numbers and then come to some other conclusion. But really, they're just saying stuff that they feel, right? It's gut. The gut is right. And, you know, in general, yes, of course, you don't want to pay people to do nothing. But I don't want people to die. So I want my tax dollars to be for people's life. So far, America's been bombing fucking Iraqi people and is an empire and watches Palestinian genocide without giving a fuck. Here's just a beautiful hippie woman dressed up in a New Age art. You know, it shows the contours, but you don't actually see the thing, right? So it's body paint, so it's all covered. It's all legit, no problem. It's just beautiful. It's a beautiful piece of art. And actually, I blur it up a little bit when I bring it close. And so, pretty fucking picture. Probably took fucking forever to get to do all that too. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, from purple mountains' majesty, above thy fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on me, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. What did this kid do, America? What did he do to you all? For y'all not to talk about it or say shit. What did this kid fucking do to you all? You fucking assholes. You fucking selfish, rich, capitalistic, fucking uppity, stuck up, fucking piece of shit bastards. Those who are in solidarity, those who believe what I'm saying, of course, you're omitted. But the culture is absolutely inundated. You got the government running the fucking show, and these government officials are not, they don't act right. And when you don't have good examples of good leadership, then you're going to have a population that's going to be doing evil, shitty things just like their fucking leaders do. And what do you do? What do you do when you're being led by fucking evil? What do you do? What do I do? I don't like this Palestinian conflict. What am I supposed to do? Hopefully writing to a congressman, making awareness. Hopefully Congress does some different type of shit. If I was president, I'd put a stop to it. Get Obama to fucking put a stop to it, which he could. Just cut Israel off. Cut him off. We got the power of the purse. Cut him off. Well, here's some more terrorists. Whoa, watch out. Watch out, America. Look at these. These Arab girls. They're actually Gaza terrorists in disguise. So, watch out for America. I know this is probably the reason you're bombing the fuck out of these children. Right? There's got to be a reason. Why the fuck would you bomb the fucking just genocide? I mean, the Nazis, I guess there would be justification to genocide the Nazis because they were the genociders. So is that what they're trying to say? Is that what Israel's saying, that these girls are the genociders? Girls, have y'all been murdering a whole bunch of people with bombs and guns and shit? Girls, no, seriously, I want to know this. Tell me, be honest. Show some African roots with today's roots. National symbol of Kemet, Egypt. So this is African culture with the eagle and the sun over the eagle and some shit. Here we have the bald eagle, right? With all these E pluribus unum and this sort of circle on the arrows and the olive branch. Big fucking surprise, right? We're the Palestinians, and that's another thing. Oppressors versus the oppressed. If you're the oppressors and you're against the oppressed, then you're against me, and you're against Eric Gardner, and you're for this shit. You're for this type of shit. The oppressors have to destroy your fucking soul, and if they can't destroy you, then they will kill you. They're killing you automatically. You will be my slave, then you're dead. Because as soon as you become a slave, you're dead. You're dead on the inside. And if you don't be my slave, then I'm gonna fuck you up and make sure you're kicked out of the school or throw you in jail. Blah blah blah. Do as I say, or else I'll fuck you up. So it's not about crimes or people hurt. Basically, they're hurting people that are not obedient, blindly obedient to them. They say they're the queen and king, and then it's just how it's supposed to be. I have no idea how. The only way they can make the entire population obedient to the king and queen is to have a public education system which teaches them to shut up and sit down whenever the dictator tells them to. And then the dictator tells them what to study. And then they study like they're in a factory, right? Bell rings, go to the next class. You learned a little bit of English, now learn a bit of math. Now go to eat your lunch, come back and learn some more. Learn, learn, learn. And you know what? I believe in education. I learn all the time. I pick up books all the fucking time and try to learn as much as I can. I don't learn in school. My schooling interferes with my education. It's always been like that from kindergarten all the way up to graduate school. It has never fucking changed. It has never fucking changed. The dictator thinks they're so fucking important and that they're the word of God and no one can contradict them. No one can, they're the badass. So if you try to say, hey, but teacher this, shut the fuck up. I remember I was talking before class and I got fucking yelled at. You're talking before class. Can't you just shut up? You're the one being fucking rude. Can't you just shut up? And that's another thing I want to raise my children has, to be free to when they see situations of injustice to speak out about it. Because if I would have said it, spoke out about it, I would have got fucked over. I see the fucking police coming and me getting shoved out and shit, and all I want to tell her is she was being rude. You're being rude. I've never done anything to you. You're being rude. It was African American Studies. I would read so much about the book and I would be excited to go to the class, but there was no discussions. She didn't care if we were friends. She stood behind her podium and just fucking talked to the computer screen. And then we were supposed to say that was knowledge because she took notes and compiled those notes, and then we listened to those notes. Guess what? We can get on fucking line and watch any fucking notes that we want to watch. So no, the education system is outdated. It's outmolded. And since Kentucky has no charter schools, they have no way out. They have no way out. It's all totalitarian system. So that's, if if you want an obedient population. Also Christianity. Christianity says turn the other cheek, allow people to hit you. Be poor, because poor people get to heaven. So basically, be poor, be stupid, be beat up. If you're the worst, the worst, you'll get it to heaven, and then everybody else will be fucked over. So if you want an obedient population, you need first a public school system to, put on the public and tell them to shut the fuck up, train them to be good cannon fodder, or, corporate drones. And Christianity. Make sure you introduce Christianity. Introduce the religion, introduce the education system, and those fucking people will just eat out of your fucking hand until the end. You have all these people complaining about Obama. What do they know about Steve Beshear? That's the governor of Kentucky. Kentuckians don't know about the governor. Kentuckians don't know about Frankfurt. They barely know what the fuck is going on about national politics. They say, well, Kentuckians don't like Obama. Yeah, right. That's all they can fucking understand is like, oh, there's a black man that's president? Oh, I don't like him. And that's it. So when Kentuckians start talking about Steve Beshear and the gun grab going down in Louisville, I'll give you some more credit that your fucking hatred against Obama has nothing to do with him being black. But growing up in a racist society, I would say most people that criticize Obama just don't like him because he's black, and fuck him. Fuck them. I'm so fucking happy. Obama is a mixed character, right? But I'm so fucking happy that he's our president. I'm still fucking happy. I'm still happy about that. You have a person that's about the same age as my aunts and uncles, probably younger, who's accomplished more, and he's black. So, they've been thinking that black people are beneath them and how inferior they are. And actually, I don't even know if they truly believe that. I think that the reason why the racism came about was because there was no culture. There was, the kids of my aunts and uncles were being slaves too. So instead of realizing that we were slaves and to, stand up and actually get some power, instead, we had nothing else to sort of band ourselves together, not on our dignity and freedom and, respect for each other. And since we didn't have that, we're all a bunch of bitch-ass slaves that had no souls, no ethics, and didn't give a shit. And I say we, but I fought them my entire fucking time. But there were some times when I would just say, fuck it, I don't even want to, fucking fight it. But I think the reason why it happened, why there is because there was no culture, nothing else to do. It's very good at uniting the fucking people, right? So if they all hated black people, then there's a fucking group of people. And just like Hitler with the Jews, right? If you can find a scapegoat, then that's somehow, fighting for love and truth and justice that just doesn't inspire people the way is, hey, look at that piece of shit. He's an asshole. So if you saw this Eric Garner case, they basically just a big dude, right? Big fat dude just getting sick of the cops fucking with him. And so he started talking about it. And then they choked him. They choked him until he died. It was right on tape, right? So everybody actually gets to see that. Just murdered dude. Just fucking murdered him. And probably murdered him because he was a big dude. He was a big dude and they was fucking scared of him. And when they put their hands on him, like as a man, how the fuck... I didn't do nothing. He stopped the fight. The New York police killed this man because he stopped the fight. This is how fucked up our culture is. You got two people fighting, then you got the person coming in who stops the fight, and the police murdered that person. On what planet is that okay? On what fucking planet, the people that fucking defend all fucking police, no matter what the fuck they do, fuck them. To ignore evil is to become an accomplice to it. Martin Luther King Jr. I'd vote again for Mitch McConnell if I could, but convicted felons can't vote, so I'll be at Fancy Farm today in spirit from my comfy federal prison cell. It's kind of a mean thing, and it's when you get too mean, you actually create a sympathetic figure, right? Richie Farmer, big-ass UK basketball fan, becomes the agricultural commissioner, was kicked out. So, in fact, without a Richie Farmer, without the corruption of Richie Farmer, we would not have had James Comer and the legalization of hemp. So in some respects, you could say that thanks, Richie Farmer, for embezzling all those money and taking, taxpayer money to pay for your own private stuff. Thank you for doing that. If you had not done that, then, we would have, what would we have done? But he didn't go to jail until he watched his son's game. So he's going to go to jail for 3 fucking years. I bet he'd be a completely different man after that. I was born in America, but I become a stranger in my own land. Left turn only. Vigilante justice, rise of hate groups, voting rights, gutted, fracking, pipelines, corporations as people, coat hangers for women, wars for profit, legislators bought and sold, obstructionism, cutting benefits for the poor, subsidizing the rich, minority rule, ag-gag, Freedom of speech denied, religion and government, disappearance of the middle class, death penalty, children massacred, gun carry in all states. I was born in America, but I become a stranger in my own land. Left turn only. We're so fucking right. We're so far to the right. Ronald Reagan would be a liberal. Gaza, at least 15 killed, 90 injured as another UN school. So several schools are bombing schools, plural, lots of kids, right? That seems to be Netanyahu's favorite fucking thing to murder. Children. We saw that one statistic where we got 492 billionaires, right? But we got like 16 million poor kids. That would be one way to fucking get rid of that problem, right? Instead of like taxing, you know, the poor rich guys. Oh, the poor rich, they don't need to be taxed. We need to coddle them and hold them close and love them, because if we just love the rich enough, then eventually their pots will just flow over and we can eat the breadcrumbs. The trickle-down theory is such a great theory. I say it in jest, but that's genocide and all the fucking kids. That's what Israel's doing with the Palestine. So that's it's done in jest, but that is how Israel would fucking solve it. That's what Netanyahu's solution to the poverty in America. And wouldn't it be, you know, if you just killed all the poor people, there would be no poor people to complain and take all the food stamps that you feel is draining the economy. It's not draining the economy. We spend more on war, Social Security, food stamps. I think food stamps is like 0.3% of the budget. Something small. And they also, the federal government, just not the food stamps, but also they give us our children's lunches in school. So when you went to school, did you eat? That's the federal government. The federal government gave that to you. I think the federal government and the state government need to do a better job of pointing out the services and things that are being done for the people. Because I went through government schools not knowing that the lunches were federal, the building is local, and the teacher, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's important stuff to know. No respect for education whatsoever. IUG is a worldwide accredited university. Goodbye to all the beautiful memories in this place. Israel's actions should not be ignored. So this is, they're bombing universities, right? Look at this beautiful building, right? Gorgeous building. Big-ass university for Gaza and the Palestinians to learn and study and be bright. Now it's all in the rubble. So they're bombing universities. They're bombing schools. They're bombing United Nations refugee camps. They're bombing lots of kids. In fact, I don't know if there's a Palestinian kid Netanyahu didn't want to fucking bomb and blow up. You saw that one article about, isn't it time for genocide? I think it's about time for genocide. When a man realizes that his woman is a teammate and not opponent, that's when his life changes. Don't break her down. Build her up and let her help you win at Tony Gaskins. It's fascinating, actually, this fucking meme. Of course that's fucking right. Of course that's what you do to a woman. That's how you're supposed to treat women. This is where I come. This is fucking relationships 101. 101. What do people want? They want your time, attention, and that's it. The time and attention and feedback. So, you know, they want to be able to interact and go back and forth. Socializing. Time, attention, socializing. Right? So, I got a little kid who wants to start painting. Right? So, I'm not going to... I remember drawing... Okay, I started drawing little pictures. And I drew like David Letterman. And I drew some other pictures. And immediately, Kevin comes in and he says... These pictures are bad. They suck. What are you doing? You know, and just started insulting him. And that's the first time I picked up a pen to draw. You know, it was a stick drawing. It wasn't like I was going for realism, but I was just practicing, and I like, you know. And all he had was just a barrage of fucking shittiness. And it wasn't shittiness because he actually wanted my product to be better and he wanted like a perfect little product or whatever. No. He was shitty because I was trying to do something with myself, and he's an asshole, right? He thinks being an asshole is fucking hilarious, right? Oh, you tried to draw something? Fuck you. And he would do that shit too. Cousins would come over and they would make fun of me, and I remember Ray Simpson laughing so fucking hard. It was the funniest fucking thing for Ray whenever my fucking old man would fucking make fun of me. And maybe that's because when I would walk out of the house, I would have his fucking personality a little bit different, right? I would think I was a nice guy, and I would tell jokes to try to make people laugh and make them feel good, whereas, I don't know. So I'd walk away, and I think people didn't like me, right, out there when I was him inside the house. But since nobody knows what the fuck he's like, they looked at me and like, you're an asshole. And then they saw him being shitty to me, and they was like, well, an asshole just got shitted on, so fuck him. Without actually realizing that the source of the assholery was coming from two people. I'm getting, I'm to a point where, mom doesn't talk about any of the abusive stuff too. She got her head smashed inside the farm equipment. Kevin was got mad at her and the gent farm, and just smashed her face into a piece of equipment. Just smashed it, right? And she had a black eye, went through, fucking child services or women's, what's that, crisis center. And and did all these, tried to do something different, tried to change her ways. But eventually she goes back, and she never talked to me about it, and she only mentioned it kind of in passing. In fact, I think she lied to us and said a cow had kicked her. And so wow, that's fucking incredible, right? So that's don't break them down. You build them up and you let them win. So when I was drawing, if I have a kid that starts to drawing little David Letterman pictures or painting or doing whatever, no, I'm not gonna fucking insult them and shit on them and treat them like a fucking asshole. I don't want them to be my slave. I don't need to crap on them and to destroy them for that young person for me to like that young person. That's what the oppressors do. They have to make you into a tool. They have to turn you into a slave so they can manipulate you, and that's the only way they can get any pleasure from you, is how they can manipulate you and get you to do things. And so as soon as they quit getting you to do things, if you say, no, I'm a person and I matter, that friendship would be over. So what I would do with my child, and I would encourage him. I would watch him and encourage him. I would doodle along with them, and I would try to, maybe we can build something else and construct something. You have Kurt Vonnegut. Kurt Vonnegut, he talked about, a lot of different shit, but he kind of said something in one of his books about how do something with your life. Yeah, you got to go work and you got to do a job, do the drudge, whatever, go to the factory, but draw something, write a book, paint a picture, take some pictures. You know what I mean? Like, do something artistic, because those are the things that matter. Those things are the things that matter, I guess it all matters, but those things, they matter more because those are the things you done with your own free time. You showed your creativity, and maybe there is a talent there that could have been talented. Talent is, there are some people born with talent, but also talent is created. So if I really wanted my child to be a world famous illustrator, I'd be putting him in the classes, and I would be putting him, getting him around other cartoonists and other people, other artists that can draw, and I would try to get them that type of education. That's the exact fucking opposite of Kevin and Lucy's ways. Kevin and Lucy's ways was not to encourage and to get them to the next spot. It was to make you a slave. And if you didn't want to be a slave, then they're telling everybody in the world how big of a fucking piece of shit you are. I remember going to Alice and Larry's house, and to Connie. Connie is another aunt I went to, and I go to them, and it was like they, my mother, I guess, had to have called them. So I said, hey, I need a place to stay, and they was like, well, we heard and we know, and no. Well, you never been family, you never been there for me, so go fuck yourself. I don't, you don't want to fucking help me out, that's fine. You all want to, and so it's almost like there's this parent code, or farmer parent code or something, where we're beating our kids, you're beating your kids, we all team together and we beat our kids, and if they try to get out of our control, then we smash them into submission collectively. We got to do this together. That's the only way it works. All of us are in on this, and it's fucked up because that's how it's worked. And the original reason for having 10 fucking kids, for having all them children, was because you couldn't, slavery was illegal. You needed to have some other slaves working your damn farm. You needed to be rich, so have a bunch of kids, work the farm, take all the money, take all the fruit and vegetables, and just sit in the house and don't do shit. Just don't do nothing. It was perfect, right? Just make your kids fucking slaves. Then you'll get the money, you'll get the power, you'll get the respect out in the community. People say, wow, look at you, you got all them kids and family, you must be a good daddy, right? You're so good. No, he's not, right? He's abusive and enslaving us, making us do all this fucking bullshit. We don't know who the fuck we are. We don't even know what we want in life, but it doesn't fucking matter because we're this bitch's slave. And it's fucking devastating. So, like, of course, this is how a relationship is supposed to work. You bring everybody up. You don't break anybody. Don't break children. And especially the ones you love. Your children are your legacy. They're going to carry on what you taught them forever and ever. Forever. So, like, it's so, there's so much that goes into raising kids, and I don't think that my fucking parents thought about it for a fucking second. They got their asses kicked by their parents, and then they started kicking our asses. They never thought about it. Mom says, oh, they never had a book. They never had a book. how am I supposed to raise children? You know, it's not like you came with the manual. I went to the fucking library and I saw probably about 50 fucking books on how to raise kids. If she would have picked up one of those goddamn books, she would have seen that smacking your fucking kid around your whole fucking life is not the best way to fucking parent. But she's a scared little bitch. She's doing what she thinks is right. Religion tells her to suck daddy's dick. She's always sucked daddy's dick. She's always allowed the oppressor to fucking tell her what to fucking do. And it's incredible. So, again, you know, the way you get her respect, you have to beat the shit out of her. She'll disrespect the whole fucking world and then suck that one person's dick. And why? Because she's a nobody. She has no soul. She's a vapid, soulless person. So she's being enslaved in her house, and then she turns around and enslaves the children. So she thinks she's got power, and that's okay. But she has to turn off her soul and who she is in order to become that fucking oppressor. So, Gazans forced to keep dead bodies in vegetable refrigerators. So many dead bodies in Gaza, they're piling them into fucking freezers. And vegetable refrigerators, right? Get in there. Get in there. Look at them bodies. So many. This is so sick. This is so fucking sick. Thousands of photos and videos of women, children killed in Palestine have been shared on all social networks worldwide. Thousands of innocent lives lost. Even the president of the U.S. have ignored this. If your head, or if your heart is not outraged with so much evidence about Palestine genocide, you're not human. This seems legit. Wanted someone to go back in time with me. This is not a joke. Prince George, BC, British Columbia. You'll get paid after we get back. You must bring your own weapons. Safety not guaranteed. And I've only done this once before. That'd be wild if that guy was seriously telling the truth. And we're all laughing at him. Ah! And then we're all like, oh, can I get a ticket? You need to learn with less. Oh, here's another great thing about fucking America. So also the people that complain about people with food stamps have plenty. And they'll be like, oh, I earned this shit. Shut the fuck. Your parents were rich. And their parents helped you out and got you to the fucking point where you're at. So, you know, if you have a good, loving environment and good, supportive parents, you should be able to do well in America. If you don't have those things and you're, you know, I don't know, pick any people out there. If you're a homeless person on the street, you're not going to fucking win. You will not win in this country. You will not fucking find us some job and then that'll pay you a bunch of money to where you can get your own fucking house and go to school and then work your way up and get a wife and kid. That'll never happen. If you're fucking homeless, if you go to prison for several years, you're done. You're labeled. You're stigmatized. What do you expect to do? You're not going to get anything accomplished. So, yeah, big-ass fucking fat government spending, looking at the taxpayer saying, we need to fucking live with less. Fancy Farm, home of the world's largest political lies told by Senator Mitch McConnell. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain. Oh. So here's the story. He finds her right in the rubble, tries to get her some help. He tries to love her and hug her back to life. And here she is, just dead, slumped over, fucking dead. Look at her. God, is this her? I hope so, man. And if it's not, it's not. She's dead. She's fucking dead. And was this her sister, her little sister, right? But to America, little Palestinian girls are terrorists. Americans don't give a fuck. Like and share if you could live in this for a while. It sounds like a nice little house, right? A little house on the lake. Winchester man is shot by the Kentucky State Police over 3 marijuana plants. So hemp is legal. Hemp and marijuana is the same fucking plant. And here you got a Winchester man who just got shot by the KSP for having 3 little tiny plants in his backyard. Go to the UK. Go to the fucking college, University of Kentucky. They got a hemp field. They got fields and just acres, you know, of fucking marijuana everywhere. They call it hemp because they raise it real close together. Same seed. Same genus species, right? Same fucking species. Same exact plant. Just the way it's raised. That's the only fucking difference. And here we're shooting people, right? Look, he's got a nice yard, and he planted a fucking plant. He planted 3 fucking plants, the most evolved plant on the planet, a plant that can cure cancer. And they shot him for it. They fucking shot him. This is America. America makes no fucking sense. America just wants to fuck with people and make their lives harder. I'd like to see a cop actually come up to me one day and say, hey, I found a fucking job for you. Or, hey, how you been, my man? How have you been? Good? Good. Not look at me like you're trying to, kick my ass and bully me and shit. Try to find something to fuck me up on. Well, I see here you have a busted back tail light. Well, the other light was on, and there's two lights. So actually I got both of them. It's just the one little one on the bottom. Well, law's the law, boy. Law's the law. And the law says I can beat the fuck out of you. And that's what's going to happen. The rule of law says that everybody should obey the law. So the law is the law. But who assaults more motherfuckers and shoots more motherfuckers out here, more insane, more psychopathic than the fucking police? There is none. They beat up people every fucking day. They assault. That's manhood. You want to talk about where did Mayberry go? Look at your fucking police. There are no fucking Andy Griffiths out there. Andy Griffith was able to be a sheriff without even having a gun. He had no gun holstered. And he was the fucking sheriff. Nowadays, we got y'all gunned up and fucking, get Humveed up and all this military apparatus and then bust down people's doors for a little tiny bit of meth, right? And why are they making meth? Because they're fucking poor, want to make some money. It's cheap and easy. I don't know. Plenty of fucking reasons. It's illegal, so therefore they're going to make a ton of money, right? You made it illegal, so you're the one that made it to where it was going to be profitable. This is fucking stupid shit. Uruguay is learning that to stop the violence associated with the drug, the war on drugs, you fucking legalize it. Colorado and Washington, they're starting to see that in Mexico, there's less violence in there because they're draining their fucking resources. Instead of us having to depend on Mexico for all the marijuana that we smoke, and we are the number one consumers of all drugs, cocaine, weed, everything, right? So we have a war on drugs where we spend all this money in all these other countries, so they have war on drugs, and then we get we're the ones that buy more of the drugs than everybody else. So we're schizophrenic. America's definitely a schizophrenic fucking country. The government says drugs are bad. The people fucking ingest drugs like no other. If you want to awaken all of humanity, then awaken all of yourself. If you want to eliminate the suffering in the world, then eliminate all that is dark and negative in yourself. Truly, the greatest gift you have to give is that of your own self-transformation. Lao Tzu. And he's right. That is the best fucking gift you can give yourself. Self-transformation. Legal pot in the U.S. is crippling Mexican cartels. Crippling. Violence in the fucking border, all that shit. Everybody coming over here, immigration policy, and people getting all fucking pissed off. You got the cartels. You got fucking cartels that's making a ton of money off the drug trade because it's illegal in America, and America keeps buying a whole bunch of shit. So, what's it to a poor fucking Mexican to get in a semi-truck, to go through the fucking border, hoping that they don't get flagged down, and be a fucking billionaire for the rest of their life? What is it to them? It ain't shit to them. What are you going to do? Ship them back to where they'll be fucking poor peasant like they were before? That's what they've already seen that. You're not harming them. So again, I was talking about Joe Scarborough and Bill Maher starting to come out. So he said, you know what? Putin is NATO's problem. Israel could take off the trading wheels. We just can't afford this shit anymore, which is fascinating. That's what a great turnaround actually for Bill Maher. He defends Israel and every fucking thing that Israel does, and now he's saying like shit, we can't pay and back them in all their crimes and everything they do. Again, it feels like we are married to a murderous wife, and our murderous wife wants to go around killing anybody and everybody, and since we're Mr. Powerful, we allow our murderous wife to kill as many fucking people as we want to. And that's fucking bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. We're not allowed to get away with, anything. And we're going to allow someone else to get away with it? We should not genocide. That is, if the Iraqi people were to start bombing America for some apparent reason, it would be bullshit because I'm in here, but it's justified. And there's a historical justification for it. So I would hate it because it's my life, but I would understand, eye for an eye. Someone attacks you, you attack them, right? That's pretty much how equality works. Doing to others, you have them doing to you. If they're shitty to you, you be shitty back. If they're nice to you, you be nice back. Simple. Life is simple. I don't know why I gotta make it so much more complicated. It's a funny little picture. Dude, just don't give a fuck. This is how he mows. This is what he do. What? He got a little headband, a little speedo. How come Women get walk around their bikinis and shit, and this guy walks around that's not like cute. We're not allowed to do that. That's not fair. I say good for him. Tenure protects teachers for doing this. I like this, to be honest with you. Whenever I'd see a parent come in and defend their kids, you could tell that they love their kid. They love their fucking kid, right? So even if they were like mean to them sometimes or whatever, they ultimately their love won out. So it was like, I can be mean to them, but you can't be fucking mean to them. Again, this is not what I grew up with at all. In fact, it was the exact opposite. If the teachers were mean to me, if I was getting bullied, they wouldn't care. They would side with the bullies. Like, wait a second. We bully you. You're getting bullied. They're the good people. They're the good people. I remember Brian Lewis, right? Brian Lewis, you get all fucking, got his panties in a fucking bunch and wanted to jump me. Told my parents about it, and they was like, they shrugged their fucking shoulders about it. Oh, well, who gives a fuck? Yeah, who gives a fuck? Because Brian only fought me one time, right? Or his brother did, and his brother just hit me. I've been hit 5,000 times. That wasn't shit. What do you mean? That's an ass kicking? Well, fuck, then I've been getting my fucking ass kicked every fucking day of my fucking life. Then you're going to say that's an ass kicking? Then I've been getting my ass kicked. And what Brian Lewis did to me isn't even fucking close to what those pieces of shit fucking did to me. And again, it's not fucking healthy. It's not successful. It sucks that I have to fucking struggle by telling other people that hitting children is wrong. Why do I have to struggle? Why is that so fucking hard? Of course it is. Every minute you're not dead, you should be spending... Wait, every minute you're not dead should be a minute spent enjoying the fuck out of life. Naomi Wolf.